We continue now at the top of Daf Tzadi Aleph Amad Aleph in Meseches Nedarim. This is Nedarim Daf 91a. And the previous summer, Rav Papa said that Rava tested us with the following question. Let's say I have a situation of an Eishes Kohen. She's the wife of a Kohen, Venensa, and she is raped. So she's prohibited to her husband. So in that situation, does she receive her ksuba or not? And the Gemara here continues the question. She can say, V'gavrhu dinistachvas adeyu. It's the man whose field was flooded over here. And the Ran explains, Gavrhu dinistachvas adeyu, Kedushas kuhunaso garmalo. The only reason that I'm prohibited to him is because he has the sanctity of a Kohen. If he were a Yisrael, I wouldn't be prohibited. Kedefarishas b'mas nisan, like was explained in the Mishnah. And so therefore, according to that, if she can say essentially it is his fault, so to speak, that she's prohibited to him, so then she would be able to receive the ksuba. And so the Gemara says, V'amrinon lei, so we said to him, meaning Rav Papa says that the students responded to Rav as follows. Mas nisan here, we can learn the answer to this question from our Mishnah. Because what does the Mishnah say? It says, Ha'omeres tameani lecha. Let's say a wife says to her husband, I have become defiled to you. Yesh la ksuba. It says she does receive the ksuba. So b'may askinan, so what exactly is the case over here? Ilema be'eshes Yisrael, if you're going to say that we're talking about the wife of a Yisrael. So iberatzon klum yesh la ksuba, if this happened willingly, would she receive a ksuba? Of course not. If she was with another man willingly, she certainly would lose the ksuba. V'iba, and if it's a situation of rape, so mika mitzra gavra, would she be prohibited to her husband? She would not. Situation of rape, if it's an Eshes Yisrael, there's no prohibition to the husband. It's only by an Eshes Kohen. And so the Gemara says, V'ela be'eshes Kohen. Rather, it has to be the Mishnah is talking about the wife of a Kohen. And again, the Gemara says, Iberatzon klum yesh la ksuba. If this happened willingly, she was not coerced, would she get a ksuba? Of course she would not get a ksuba. Migora me'eshes Yisrael beratzon. Would that be any worse than an Eshes Yisrael beratzon? An Eshes Yisrael beratzon, when it's willingly by an Eshes Yisrael, certainly she does not get a ksuba, and that's the same by a Kohen. Elalav ba'onis, rather it must be, is it not, that we're talking about in our Mishnah, the case is a case of an Eshes Kohen and it's ba'onis, it's a case where she was raped. V'katani yesh la ksuba, and the Mishnah says she does receive the ksuba, and that therefore is the answer to our question. By Eshes Kohen shenensa, she does receive her ksuba. And the Gemara continues, Iboy lahu, they had the following question. Amra labala gerashtani ma. What if a wife says to her husband, you divorced me, but she no longer has the get? So what's the halacha in that case? Is she believed to say that she was divorced? Amar Rav Hamnuna says, Tashma, come and hear the following proof from our Mishnah. Homeres tameani lecha, the Mishnah says, if she says that I was defiled to you, diafilu lemishnah achrona. Now, even according to the second version of the Mishnah, tekatani lo mehemna, it says over there she's not believed to say that she was defiled. She has to actually bring evidence. But hasam hu demishakra, but over there we can say she's not believed. She would lie. The yada de bala lo yadava, because she knows that her husband doesn't know anything about it. In other words, she doesn't mind lying in that situation because her husband does not know one way or the other. Aval gabe gerashtani, but in a situation where she's claiming that you divorced me, the yadaba, where he would know one way or the other, so mehemna, so certainly in that case she should be believed. The chazaka, because there's a presumption, ein isha mi'iza panea bifnei bala, that a wife is not going to be so brazen in front of her husband to claim that he divorced her if that was not the case. And the Gemara continues, Amar le Rava, Rava says to him, Adrab, on the contrary, Afilu le Mishnah Rishona, even if you're going to go according to the first version of the Mishnah, where she is believed to say that she was defiled, the Katani Mehemna, where it says she is believed, Hasam Mishum de lo avida levazuye nafsha, there she's believed because she doesn't want to disgrace herself and say she was defiled unless it actually was true. Avalacha, but over here, the zimnin de sakif la min gavra, but over here where sometimes she will overpower her husband, meaning to say that he will make her so angry that she wants to get away from him. Mi'iza, maybe she will be so brazen, and therefore maybe she is lying and she's really not divorced. And the Gemara continues, Meisiv Rav Mesharshia asks on Rava. Again, Rava here is saying that she is not believed to say she was divorced. So the Mishnah said, Hashamayim beini leveinecha. If she says the heavens are between me and you, the Mishnah Rishona, according to the first version, she is believed in that situation to say that he is impotent, that he's not able to father children. So in that case, she's believed. So tiyufta de Rava. That should be a refutation of what Rava says. Hacha de lesla kisufa, because over here, there's no embarrassment in this situation. V'katani de mehemna. And it says over here in the Mishnah that she is believed. So the same should be true in a situation where she says she was divorced. But the Gemara says, no, Kasava Rava holds as follows. Hasam over there, in the case of Hashamayim beini leveinecha, Kaven de lo sagi lo de lo amra ein yorek achetz. Over there, she can't simply say Hashamayim beini leveinecha. She has to be specific. She has to say ein yorek achetz, that his semen, it doesn't shoot like an arrow. She has to specify exactly what she's talking about. So over there, ilo isa kedekamra. If it wasn't true what she was saying, lo amrale, she would not have said to him in that situation. She wouldn't say such a thing. It actually would be embarrassing to even utter such a statement, and therefore, in that case, it must be true. But again, that does not prove in a case where she says she was divorced. It could be over there that we would not believe her. But the Gemara continues, Hashamayim beini leveinecha de Mishnah Achrona, to have it to Yufta de Rav Hamnuna. But what about Hashamayim beini leveinecha, according to the second version, the latter version of the Mishnah? There it says, when she says Hashamayim beini leveinecha, she's not believed in such a situation, and that should be a refutation of Rav Hamnuna, because Rav Hamnuna says she is believed in the situation where she claims where she is divorced. V'hahacha, but over here in this case, the yada hi uvala yada ba, where both she and her husband, they know the truth. V'katani de lo mehemnen, it says over here she's not believed. In other words, apparently she would say something where she knows, not only does she know that she's lying, she knows that her husband is aware that she is lying, and she's not believed in such a situation, so she shouldn't be believed in the case where she says she's divorced as well. And the Gemara answers, Kasava Rav Hamnuna holds as follows. Hachanami, here also, he gufa amra, she herself says, Nihi de bebiya yada, beyorek achetz miyada, granted he knows in terms of having relations, but he doesn't know anything about whether it's yorek achetz or not. Umishamachi meshakra, that's why she would lie in this case, because really she feels her husband might not know one way or the other. But when it comes to the divorce, where the husband would certainly know if she was lying, so there Rav Hamnuna says we can believe her. And the Gemara continues that the Tudat, Sahi Itasa, there was a woman, the Chaliyoma de Tashmish, that on every day where they had relations, Mikdama, she would get up early, Mashya Yade Lagavran, she would wash the hands of her husband. Yom Achad, one day, Asya Lemaya, Lemam Moshe, she brought him water to wash his hands. Amar Lo, he said to her, Hada Milsa Lahavisoyidna. He said, we didn't have relations this time, why are you bringing me water? Amrale, she said to him, Imkain, if so, Chad min Nachram, it was one of the non-Jews, and we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Tzadi Aleph Amud Beis.